crystals and pendants are already on the tracker, we can discuss those. Pendants in Eastern Palace, that's the green. Palace of Darkness, and Thieves Town today. So those are the pendants. Thieves Town, you never like seeing a Thieves Town pendant because it always suggests, hey, there's something here. And usually the runners will clear that out quickly because there's 4 items in there anyway. So underway with the arrows in Link's house.
And not surprisingly, our runners are making for Sanctuary to head over to Kakariko because we've seen from the logs that there are quite a few items in Kakariko and the vicinity today.
Yeah, Kakariko is going to be a good starting point today. And then, of course, we have to see what happens on Death Mountain later, where there's also a lot of items hanging out. We'll get to see what kind of items they find up there later as well. Usually there's at least one item in each of those locations, one way or the other. So we're going to find out soon. We are going up to the spot in the mushroom spot right now to get the ocarina, or the flute as we call it. So we're going to get an early listen to some music here. We're going to get a quick sync up here as well. So we are good in sync now.
There we are.
Kyong is going to the back of Blind's hut already, and I have a feeling sab0tender may do that as well. And the reason they're going to the back of Blind's hut is not for the bombs. Well, it could be for the bombs. There is a bottle there. Now, the one thing I will say quickly, that is Sick Kid we will not be seeing today. I think he just had like 20 rupees or something like that on hand. So Kyong is going to the chest in the back of Blind's hut to get the mirror. That's the item he really came for, and the bombs were needed for that, so I guess he came for the bombs too.
Oh,
sab0tender did
what
not
about
grab the mirror.
sab0tender?
sab0tender, oh, he realized it. Okay, good.
So yes, the nice thing about spoiler logs is you don't have to beat up Sick Kid and take his lunch money if you know that's what he's going to give you.
And that's what we have today, fortunately. So he can keep his allowance. Blue mail in the back of the well, so that's a very handy safety that the runners are obviously going to want there. It helps reduce damage by about half. There's a fire rod down there in the well as well. No pun intended. So already Kakariko pretty loaded here.
Yeah, and the blue mail is especially nice because there are only going to be so many heart containers that are right in your routing, and you're not going to want to go too far out of your way to get a heart container.
Now, Kyong is already getting the flute music played, and sab0tender will probably head there as well. Kyong skipped the bottle vendor, nothing of interest there. So going to save his money that he would use to purchase the otherwise useless item.
There is, however, a full heart container in the chicken hut, so I wonder if either of our runners will pick that up.
sab0tender is making a stop down here before going to activate the flute. Let's hope he
Yep,
remembers.
they're both going to the chicken hut.
Chicken hut. Yep, Sync Chicken Hut before sab0tender activates his flute.
Yeah, when it's only like a 10-second detour and you only have 4 hearts, it's sure worth getting the 5th like this.
Indeed. Now sab0tender will activate his flute. We will get to hear the music as Kyong flies off with his duck.
Kyong is making straight for Death Mountain because we are going to see a ton of items in Paradox Cave. This is like Paradox Cave like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good Paradox Cave. We're not going to go into detail, but you will see in a moment because there's some great items in here to look forward to. We're not going to see what's on top of Spectral Rock. Kyong obviously would know what's there anyway. And we are going inside Spectral Rock right now. Normally in regular random, I would say they could be going for the hint back here because they get some information. We're not going to see that. We're going to see the sword sitting in front of that hint tile, and I don't think he's going to waste time reading the hint because, we have to go fast. So now planting the bomb jump here. And he gets across. sab0tender does leave a little bit of view, I think. And you might have got a glimpse of what was up there.
Yes, that is one of our 2 glove upgrades sitting right there. And our runners conveniently have the mirror.
So that means our Kyong, our friendly little mushroom, is going to turn back into a regular creature and pick that club up. Of course, he turns into a mushroom because he doesn't have the Moon Pearl yet. So naturally, we're looking for the Moon Pearl so we can do other things in Death Mountain. Right now, we're looking in Tower Hera. And Tower Hera is needed for a crystal, so he is going to be completing Tower Hera while he's here. I suspect sab0tender will do the same. And he knows that... Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Kyong is already heading down to the basement, so we're getting our coffee break today.
Yeah, I mean, he avoided one check there, but he knows the big key is in the basement. But I was also going to say, once he gets the big key and heads upstairs, there will be a nice item waiting for him.
Yes, there will be. Where items are like the runners do, the answer is yes, we do know. So we are privy to that same information in the commentaries that we can explain why they're doing things in the way that they're doing them. That way we're not completely in the dark ourselves. So Kyong goes through the big key door and is on his way upstairs now. Again, this is a crystal, so they will complete this dungeon while they're here.
Yes, it's a quick dungeon no matter how you slice it, though Moldorm's going to take a while with only the fighter sword. And don't poke the Moldorm.
Yeah, be careful.
Definitely. And there is our item, the lovely hookshot, which will enable our runners to get over to East Death Mountain.
Yes. That will be a very useful item also because that item is required just to finish the game unless you know how to hover, which some people do, and that's great too. But technically, it is a required item to get through the final part of Ganon's Castle as well, so even if the hookshot wasn't needed for any items, we're still going to get some good items with that hookshot today.
Well, and Swamp is a crystal, and that takes quite a bit more hovering to get through that without
a lot.
Ooh, and Kyong takes a fall from Trolldorm. Spoiler all you want, but Trolldorm's still Trolldorm.
Yeah, that doesn't change at all, unfortunately. He will still do what he does. In this kind of race, a fall to any of the Moldorms will could be a case where a few seconds are lost that can really cost you the
Trolldorm
race.
2, Kyong 0. Sabo picks up his hook shot. And I guess out of habit he reads a hint.
Oh, we did get to see a hint today. Very nice.
What's that, about 4 hints on Trolldorm? He's looking enraged. Oh, but Kyong gets him.
And sab0tender is working on Moldorm himself right now. So those Moldorm falls that Kyong took. Oh, there's one for sab0tender. I was about to say, and apparently I just cursed. I was going to say those Moldorm falls Kyong took helped sab0tender catch up a little bit, but now sab0tender himself losing some time.
And meanwhile, Kyong got his first crystal of the game at a whopping 8 minutes and 50 seconds.
So now we are getting into Paradox Cave right now, and we're going to get to see all those beautiful items that Drosy already hinted at earlier as we clear out the... we have to clear out the mini Moldorms to leave the room, obviously.
And
so
sab0tender takes down Trolldorm on his second try. And there's our Titansmiths and our Moon Pearl.
Yep, and there's your Cane of Samaria and the hammer. So this was a loaded Paradox Cave today. This was literally the most loaded Paradox Cave I think I've ever seen in any randomizer race.
Forget 11 out of 10. That was about 15 out of 10.
Yeah, maybe close to a 20. And apologies to our tracker for having to track all that at once. So now Kyong is heading up into the Super Buddy Cave realm here, as sab0tender is going to get his own bundle of bounties from Paradox Cave. Kyong squeezes through with the hookshot block grabbing glitch there and gets through to the stairs he wants to access.
And you may notice that our tracker has also already noted that both Meyer and T-Rock are Quake today. Again, that was in the spoiler log, so we're not really spoiling anything by telling you what medallions they're going to need.
And someone in chat reviewing to confirm all the items that were in Paradox Cave. You're going to see him right now again on sab0tender's side as soon as that bomb explodes. So you'll get to see him again. So once again, there's your Canis Samaria. There's your hammer. Go pick up the heart container because why not?
And chat's review of Paradox Cave, you forgot the Moon Pearl.
Oh, he did forget the Moon Pearl. That is right. But 4 key items right there, plus a heart. So now Kyong is hopping into the back of Escape. Now there is a reason he's dropping back here, of course. I didn't think it was for this room, but he's going to get something out of this room. He is getting the second sword, so he rode in the sword back here.
Wait a minute.
I thought there was another item.
Did Kyong not do Hookshot Cave?
No, I don't think he did.
There's a certain essential item in Hookshot Cave, and he was right there.
I'm actually a little surprised by that. Let's see if sab0tender actually does this himself.
Yeah, hopefully sab0tender remembers, because Kyong's gonna have to take another trip up there. Oh, nope, I guess Kyong did get the flippers.
Yeah, he has the flippers.
Okay, so he went into Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, he did. I guess we both were looking at sab0tender. We must have both missed it. Yeah, the boots and the flippers both in Hookshot Cave, and he did get those because he's going to the swamp right now. And swamp is a crystal, so either way, this has to be done. He does now have all the key items to complete Swamp Palace. Let's see if we find something else while he's in here.
Yeah, as I recall, the only useful item in Swamp is in the compass chest, so we'll see if he makes the detour there. Yeah, very similar routing by our runners. Kyong's execution is just a little bit better, and that's why he has a little bit of a lead right now.
So a quick question in chat here. Do the runners not have continued access to the spoiler log throughout the race, or just a quick peek at the beginning? The runners can review the spoiler log throughout the race, sometimes depending on how complex the route could be. Runners may choose to figure out the starting route, and then while they're playing that starting route, they will still be routing the other half of the seed while they're playing. So this can mean that it may still take 30 minutes or so to route the entire seed. 15 minutes is generally not enough to do all the routing needed for some of these seeds.
Also, okay, Kyong is going down to Compass Chest, where he will find some nice fried bacon. I was also going to say that, given the runners' access to spoiler logs, they're actually welcome to join chat here if they want to.
Yes, they are. They actually are able to be in here.
I mean, they're probably a bit too busy trying to execute the race to chat, but if they want to, or if, they're on coffee break or something, they can come in here and chat.
Yeah, if they're sitting on top of a coffee break pedestal while they're having towels aimlessly flung at the pedestal they're standing on, then they are welcome to chat with us while they're racing, or any other break like a crystal celebration or anything along those lines.
They're also welcome to chat in each other's streams.
Yes. And the reason for that, Freedom, is because they've already figured out their own routes based on their knowledge of the seed. So they're really not getting any new information by hanging around and watching the other runners stream, or even this stream. The only thing we have to be careful about as commentary is potentially reminding the runners to do certain things without intending to. That's the main thing we have to be careful about.
And Kyong making very short work of Argus there. Bye-bye, our guy.
And very nice kill on the Calamari, so Kyong has that. sab0tender, meanwhile, we have some divergence here, because sab0tender is doing Skull Woods, and he's taking out Mothula right now. So a little bit of divergence already in this race.
And since he hasn't been to Swamp, he's doing this with the Master Sword.
That is correct. Very nicely done, though, with the Master Sword, I have to say.
Oh, very nice, yeah. Managed just to avoid the spikes.
And Kyong is making his way down to, I think he's going to Ice Palace already. Very early to go to Ice Palace.
Wow. As I recall, there was nothing of use in Ice Palace, so he should just be able to go mode it.
And that may be why, because he just goes straight to the end if there is nothing, provided we didn't miss something there, he can just go straight to the boss. That's correct.
Was there anything in Mini Moldorm Cave?
I did not see the runners check it, so I'm going to assume there was nothing.
No, it was junk. I'm checking now.
Mm-hmm.
The most useful thing in there is a Fisher-Price shield.
And sab0tender stops in the C-shaped house to pick up a green potion, just a little bit of a magic safety. Free potion never hurts.
I didn't actually check where half magic was. Ice Palace is indeed junk. And there's actually a vanilla heart container on Cold Stair, so that'll be nice.
That might be why he's routing this in now, as he takes an electrical shock from one of the jellyfish. That may be why he's doing Cold Stare now, because he knows he can get a heart here and he has to do this anyway, so it'll give him the extra health later on. And sab0tender continuing to diverge a little bit, going to Thieves Town right now. On 6 hearts, what's more.
Yeah, the thing about Thieves Town is there is one important item here.
Was it that red mail?
No.
Well, we'll find out. We won't spoil too much if that's the case. I don't memorize every single item myself because I want to keep a little bit of surprise myself. But the red mail is definitely a good safety for sab0tender, and that means that whereas Kyong has an extra heart and will have 2 extra hearts once he finishes Cold Stare, sab0tender now has the extra shielding, the extra defensiveness. He may not need as many hearts as Kyong will have him pick up that red mail. Now there will be the odd enemy that hits below the belt. Mail doesn't stop that. It doesn't care in those cases what mail you have. But for anything above the belt, it does help. And the Crackle Riser freed. Will Kyong corner them? Kyong is cornering them. And very nicely done. That was a beautiful battle by Kyong there. So sab0tender is heading over to the chest that requires the hammer to clear. And he's going to open that up right now, it looks like. And there's an important item, the bow. Now, you will notice that Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness are both pendants, so they are not required per se in order to complete the 7 crystals goal. But the bow is still an item that will obviously be useful later for a certain dungeon. And that dungeon, of course, is Ganon's Tower to clear out certain enemies in there. And just in case you never know, maybe Helpless Arcane has something too.
Now, the fact that sab0tender's going straight down this way and over to Swamp means he is not getting the silver arrows. I think I can spoil this since I don't think either runner's going to get them. Silver arrows are in purple chests today.
Yeah, it looks like both runners might be ignoring that.
So yeah, it's enough of a trek to first rescue Jeremiah and then hike the purple chest down that I think our runners would rather do sword spins.
Yeah, I think they're going to take the sword spins because that will take less time than that hike. But yeah, for those coming in late on the bow in Thieves Town, that is one out of the way bow. And it's interesting that Kyong has not picked that up yet. So it'll be interesting to see if he decides to route that in later. Or if he tries something that we may get to see something later.
Yes, remember that neither Pod nor Eastern is required. So the bow is not needed for either of those dungeons. Kyong is just coming through Eastern here to get the one key item out of here.
Yeah, there's something in here he's after, and I think he's going to find it right down here. Inside that big chest, we have the ice rod. So he now has both of the rods. He has the weaponry required to take out Trinex now. He actually, I think that might be the majority.
Yeah, he's got Quake, he's got
Samaria.
He can do Trinex right now if he wanted to, but I imagine he'll save it for last so he can just go over to GT.
Last, yeah. He has everything he needs he'll just save it for last, that's right.
sab0tender also going to pick up his tempered sword.
It looks like Kyong is now going to route Mothula in, which sab0tender has already completed.
Right, and then the question is, will Kyong then go to Thieves Town to get the bow, or are we going to see him try to get through this seed bolus?
If we see him go looking for that bow, then that'll be the answer. Or whether he does that or not, that'll give us the answers to what to expect later on his side.
Yeah, if he doesn't go for the bow, he's got quite a lead on sab0tender. If he does, it's still pretty close. sab0tender should be able to make up quite a bit of ground while Kyong's going to the back of Thieves.
So Kyong has his key from the Gibdo. The drop down now. Hand did not come in. And he's doing his bug fight. sab0tender is swinging past the spiders. Going to head back to Argus's chamber right now. So we're going to have the same boss fights, but in the other order right now. Kyong kills his bug, and sab0tender has begun fighting all the guy.
Yeah, sab0tender doesn't quite have his cadence down the way Kyong did.
Not bad, though. And there's the kill on Argus. So he's going to collect his piece of heart, and his crystal will be on his way. Kyong is back over the Lost Woods, calls Swag Duck Air, and heads over to Misery Mire. And he did skip Thieves Town, so ladies and gentlemen, now that we know sab0tender has found the bow in Thieves Town, Kyong has not gone back to that, I think we're going to get to see a very interesting skip later in Ganon's Tower. So keep your eyes peeled for that later.
Yeah, as you may recall, when Pod and Eastern are both pendant dungeons, the only time the bow is usually required is getting past the Gorias as you go upstairs in Ganon's tower. So there is a glitch that was recently discovered on that, and we'll see if Kyong can pull it off.
It can be a very tough glitch to pull off too. If you even when it was found, it took a little while to even for some of the better runners to master it. But once you have a good feel for how to do it, I'm sure it's something that will save a lot of time for compared to getting the bow out of Thieves Town right now. So assuming that Kyong has mastered that glitch, this will be a huge time save for him.
What is sab0tender doing in Pod?
I am wondering the same thing. There is, I think there's a sword over here, is there not?
Yeah, does he really need butter? I mean,
Let's see what he's doing. Let's see what he's up to. He's walking in now.
Sure,
He's
it makes
standing in the
Cold Stare
doorway.
and Vitreous a bit easier, but the amount of time required to get butter, it would seem to me it would be easier to just do Cold Stare and Vitreous with Tempered.
He may be thinking that he's not comfortable with that. That could be why he's doing that. There's a key. Gonna go back to the beginning. Unless we missed something on the log ourselves, he might be up to something else. But now he's wandering around in the opening, and he's thinking,
I'm
no,
reading the
we're gonna
log.
leave. He decided maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe he thought it was in the first chest and realized it wasn't. He's like, you know what? I'm wasting time.
It's in the dark maze. He would have had quite a trek there. Now, he should have dipped Eastern while he was right there. Maybe he's a bit confused now because he was right there. He should have gone into Eastern to get the Ice Rod.
So he's heading over to Waterfall right now. And there is the Quake medallion for him. So that's him, Quake and his heart. Kyong already has that, of course.
So now he's going to Ice. I do hope he remembers about the Ice Rod at some point, because I have to imagine he just got confused and maybe he forgot which of Pod and Eastern had it.
So he's looks
Kyong
like
now
Sap's going to drop down to Cold Stare as quickly as he can himself now to finish that.
Kyong now doing the lovely, very difficult dark rooms in Meyer Basement. To answer chat, there is no stream delay except for the usual 10 to 15 seconds that are part of any restream.
That's correct. Everything is as live as we can get here.
So yeah, I was just going to say, though, that the lamp is in a very out-of-the-way location, and I doubt either runner's getting it, and I really hope sab0tender can do the dark rooms in Meyer Basement.
Right. I also agree. We'll reveal that later, assuming that neither runner gets it, because we don't want to remind them where it is. But yeah, based on where the lamp is, I think dark rooms will be very much covered today. As you saw that Kyong already completed his set of dark rooms in Misery Mire. He's fighting Vitreous right now. So it'll be interesting to see if sab0tender is confident with that Mire dark room.
Well, I mean, Meyer and the one dark room in T-Rock, I think, are the only dark rooms they're going to have to do.
You may be correct on that, yeah. Because they don't have to do Palace of Darkness. And they don't have to do the one in Eastern Palace. Comment in chat, can the runners join the commentators on the restream? In theory, they probably could, but at the same time, they're probably more focused on the race. They wouldn't really be wanting to communicate too much. Plus, what they're doing on their end is probably about 30 to 45 seconds ahead of what we're actually seeing, even on the commentary stream. So it would be a little bit out of sync what they're doing if we're talking about something that we're not seeing for another 30 seconds. So we would not have the runners in to accidentally spoil something that they're doing or that happens.
So we're now at a point where sab0tender is a full crystal behind Kyong.
sab0tender trying to corner the eyes, and you know what? He did that pretty well too. One got away, and actually they all got away, but they were down to one hit. And still killed him very quickly. The sab0tender completes his Ice Palace. Kyong is working his way through Desert Palace, getting to the back of it.
Let's see where sab0tender goes now. I'm guessing probably Mire and Desert.
Mire and Desert would be a good place for him to go because they are both crystals. He is choosing, however, Misery Mire. So he's going to go down there first.
He just needs to get that Ice Rod at some point because other than that, it's go mode.
Yeah, I think they all have, with the exception of that Ice Rod that you mentioned, I think they all have all the items they need. So he might be planning to get the Ice Rod from Eastern Palace before routing up to Death Mountain and going to Dark Death Mountain. That's what would be my guess at this point.
Assuming he remembers it.
That's right.
I mean, the fact that he turned down the opportunity to go into Eastern before does make me wonder.
It's possible he may have forgotten. He might be looking at his inventory after these two dungeons thinking, what am I missing? Oh, Ice Rod. He might have also thought the Ice Rod was a Palace of Darkness, then after getting the first key, realized, no, that's not right.
Meanwhile, Kyong gets crystal number 6.
Going at a very good clip here, 32 minutes on, and already on 6 crystals. And he's going to head straight to Turtle Rock. Ooh, that dead rock was in an interesting position. Got around it very cleanly, though. And sab0tender working his way to Lamos right now. We're going to do that before doing Misery Mire, it looks like. So we're going to light the torches. The Igor will wake up. And everyone, please stop moving while a wall moves. You may move again.
I wonder if Kyong, seeing his lead, will get the item here in T-Rock just for swag.
I wonder if he will, yeah, just to show us what it is. But at the same time, you never know what's going to happen to you in Ganon's Tower. Something could happen where you plan to get through cleanly, but then you take a hit somewhere and you're suddenly low on health, and you have to be a lot more careful so you don't go back to the start. So he may choose not to waste the time. We'll see what he decides to do.
Meanwhile, sab0tender is going to do Misery Mire now.
Kyong is going to pick up his key from the chest down here.
Yeah, again, even with spoilers, you need to pick up 4 keys to get through T-Rock.
Yeah, that's one thing that does not change. And this is why in a regular race I would normally say go mode Turtle Rock is not much different than regular Turtle Rock. because depending on the key layout, you still have to open every single chest and get to Laser Bridge. The difference is that if you have all the keys and you can steal the key from the Pokey, on top of that, before getting to Laser Bridge, then you don't have to worry about doing Laser Bridge at all. Whereas in a non-go mode, Laser Bridge is 100% probably going to see all 4 opened. Nice clear of the first main room in Mire there by sab0tender.
Nice cane dash by Kyong. I always like when runners do that. At the top of Turtle Rock, there's the blue cane dash room, and at the bottom, there's the red cane dash room.
And we're going to visit Chompy's lair today, right now. He is making a point to grab the chest, and there is your big key. sab0tender is picking up his own big key from Mr. Mire. And Kyong is going through the pass right now. Now, you remember that we mentioned something about a lamp here, right? See that chest right there? He's going for it.
Well, I said he might well get the swag in here.
We're getting the swag right now. He wants to prove it, I guess. And there's the lamp.
Which means that Logic was really expecting horrible things of you, because it was expecting you to come up here to get the lamp and then go back down to Mire.
Yeah, the Logic was not being friendly on that one. So knowing the dark rooms definitely saves time on this, and that's proof of it right there. So Walking in chat, geez, this looks familiar.
And let's see how well sab0tender knows the dark rooms down here.
Being pointed out in chat that the second qualifier seed had the lamp in that exact location. Of course, we didn't broadcast the qualifier seeds, but yeah, the lamp was there in the qualifier.
Oh, sab0tender takes a death.
So that's why that looked familiar, according to Ralkin. Kyong skips this chest there. Kyong skips that chest there in the roller room. Clearly no key there. He does have to get a key out of Laser Bridge, though, so he is going to head down to Laser Bridge after stopping to push a button. May stop for a magic refill, too, but he might be good on magic. Yeah, he's going to get the magic refill. Why not? He needs a couple hearts anyway. And take a quick guess, chat. Chest 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you said 2, congratulations.
I was going to say chest 1 because it was the first chest he checked.
No, I was going from top to bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And for similar reasons, we will not be playing the GT Big Key guessing game, though if you want to guess what chest contains the big key rather than what number check it will be, by all means you can guess what room and what chest it's in.
And as usual, I don't look at the GT information because I wanted to be surprised with everyone else here. So I'm kind of playing this with everyone in the chat. I've
spoiled it for myself.
Oh, I always like to see it in random room myself. So as long as it's somewhere in random room, I'm happy.
Random room's fun. Actually, I didn't check what was in tile room today.
Probably nothing of value. Probably like 20 rupees.
Heart container, actually, but I'm
okay, so I was right. So I was right. Nothing of value because 20 rupees has value.
I do not think our runners will be getting a heart container out of tile. Simultaneous crystal grabs, by the way.
Yeah, a little bit of sync here.
Though I guess we should probably change the music to Kyong.
Yeah, that's if Hansen's able to do that. Hansen is our tracker today. Thank you for clicking the buttons today as well, Hansen. So he does change the audio over. We are with Kyong now.
Math Girl, silvers were in purple chest. Oh yeah, Esfion is saying that in chat too.
So, and one more note here, and I know Math Girl was commenting on the race on Speed Gaming 2, so welcome anyone coming from Speed Gaming 2, who from the finish of that race there. For the benefit of Math Girl and anyone else coming in, the bow was in Thieves Town today, and Kyong did not stop to pick it up, so we have determined that he is trying to show off a glitch in Ganon's Tower to avoid having to get the bow. He's getting the powder wise here, by the way. He's going to show off that glitch without getting the bow to get those mimics out a different way and get the door open. And he has to do that twice. So sab0tender did stop picking up that hammer because probably probably not familiar with the glitch yet. By guessing, it isn't familiar with how to do it. I'm gonna guess he's probably gonna learn how to do it after this race. There's your half magic, by the way.
Why is that room labeled as DM's room in the spoiler log?
Which room?
The room where Kyong just was picking up half magic is called DM's room in the spoiler log. Dark Magician?
It could be, yeah, Dark Magician. Looks like that's how it's labeled. That must have happened after the roading was developed.
But yeah, going back to the silver arrows, I think silverless Ganon with a tempered sword takes maybe an extra 50 seconds, and it certainly would have been more than 50 seconds to first rescue Jeremiah and then get the purple chest and deliver it.
So Kyong skipped random rooms, so clearly I'm wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. We're having a prediction in chat now for Armo's left chest.
Oh, right, he has no bow.
Yeah, he's doing this the hard way.
I'm surprised he didn't take out the boomerang.
I'm going to assume that this was a calculated risk he was willing to take.
There we go.
And it was right chest. So here's the... Actually, no, next floor it is. He's going to get through this room cleanly. Push the block. Now, here we go. Get ready for the clip, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get these mimics paired up here. And he's going to... I have no idea how it's done myself, but he gets them into the block.
You just kind of get them to walk off the screen. I don't really understand it.
Well, they came out of the block there, so he's going to have to try it again. Now, if this does fail and he ends up having to go back to get the bow, this will lose a lot of time that sab0tender would gain. So let's hope that Kyong can pull this off. Or if you're a fan of sab0tender, let's hope he doesn't. He's going to have to do this again in the next room, too.
I think the glitch allows them to skip the next room or something like that. Or if there's no Gorilla in the next room.
He's trying
I
to
forget
pull
what it is because
off.
I've only seen it done once or twice. But I think once you get through this room, you're home free in the next room.
Oh, he came out of the block. And you actually do have to clip both rooms. I have seen this done. You do have to clip both rooms. But it is very, very hard to do. This is no beginner glitch.
Fortunately, he has a lot of time to play with because it took a couple minutes to get down to Thieves' Town basement, so even if it takes him a minute or two here, it's still less time. Oh, and sab0tender is not getting the lamp.
It's starting to get a little close as to how much, whether he would have actually saved time. At this point, I think he could have been to the lamp and coming back up here by now. Like he could have been further along by this point, I'm thinking at this point. So it's starting to get close to that point where now he's losing time.
Yeah, now Kyong has a bit more of a buffer because of sab0tender's misplay with Pod.
Yeah, that will definitely help him out here. Oh, he's almost got him in the block, though. He's almost there. Oh, came out again. Maybe that's part of the glitch. I'm not sure. Got him off. Door's open. Now, room number 2.
Okay, I don't remember how this one works.
They get in the wall somehow, and then they just scroll up. They just go up. I guess like that.
Well, one left.
There you go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Bow not required.
And you can see those mimics floating around on that screen as Kyong went through it.
And the mimics were never heard from again. Being called out in chat as well. For those
sab0tender has to be really careful. He is... Press F to pay respects.
Well, I'll finish that comment. Just for those who aren't familiar with where that glitch came from, the person who discovered that glitch was Aussie101, who is actually a very, very skilled Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer, as well as being good at each of those games. So credit to him for coming up with that glitch, for those who were not familiar. So Kyong is now doing Cannonball Run, is going to head upstairs another floor after cleaning out this wizard room. It's always nice to see that room cleaned out so easily like that. And over to this room, then up to 4 or 5. Well, after going through this.
While sab0tender takes on Trinex. So at least for all that, our runners should be in GT at the same time.
It might be a bit of a high five as one leaves and one comes in. One ends up high-fiving someone leaving via bird.
And a very nice, clean Trinex fight so far. Moldorm is much less trolly when you have the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, it makes it very easy.
Let's see what Moldorm's final possession was. The mushroom! How about that?
Tasty.
That would be serious swag to pick up the mushroom from Moldorm's chest and turn it in.
Yeah, but don't waste too much time. Let's obviously get the race done. I think we already lost the sub 50 with the difficulty on that glitch. Or maybe it wasn't possible anyway, I don't know. Oh, was that a triple-triple?
That was a double-triple. Very nice.
A double-triple, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why Kyong is the top seed of this tournament. He is just skilled at this.
Why is
So I thought you might like to go to the show to feel the... I'm going to read that again. So you thought you might like to go to the show to feel the warm thrill of confusion, that Space Cadet glow.
Why is sab0tender going right side?
You can go to the ice armors from either direction, so he's choosing this direction as his preferred route to get to the ice armor.
I know, I would have just thought he'd want, like, you know, powder and half magic.
Maybe he doesn't want him. He's good with red mail and 9 hearts, I guess. And a map. Yes, we have found the silver arrows in the Dark World. Would you like to try one? Actually, no, we have not found them. What am I talking about? We know where they are, but the runners haven't picked it up.
Well, the runners know where they are. They, you know, elected against. But the torch glitch definitely helps when you're doing silverless Ganon.
And a question in chat, how many warps in the spoiler? It actually doesn't tell us. I don't think we get that information. And some things are better kept a surprise. So we have a dead pig and some crispy fried bacon to take with us as we go to the triangle room, which is right beyond this 1x3 bridge, which means Kyong is going to be the winner of this first of the 2 races we're going to see tonight. Reminder, this is a doubleheader, so after sab0tender finishes, or forfeits, whatever he chooses to do, we will get to see a second race. So stay on this channel. We will get to see another race after a little bit of a brief intermission. We're not going to be interviewing Kyong because, again, we have a second race to get to. We're going to let them get set up for the second race, take a quick break if they need to. There will be another 15-minute dialogue period for that second race as well. So we'll be a bit of a intermission here live on the channel as well.
But I think sab0tender is going to finish out the seed. I mean, he's close enough.
Why not?
And he has the bow, so he can, you know, play the third floor the normal way.
Yeah, we're going to get to see these guys just get shot. There's not going to be any glitching blocks here. He's just going to fire arrows in and have a nice day.
Yes, it's like that scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where the guy does all the fancy whip work and then Indy just shoots him.
Having a hard time with a couple of the arrow shots here.
He is out of arrows.
Oh, he's almost out of...
refilled now, but...
He's almost out of health. He's going to have to get another health refill along the way. He's trying to dodge the Beamos right now. Gonna get hit. Ooh. Ooh. Got him. Get out of there. Don't take a hit along the way. Need a refill. I wonder if he's used this potion yet.
And that's where going to get the powder would have been really useful.
Fortunately, that Igor can be killed with a pot. The red one, not so much. Only one spike left. Nice.
And the thing about the spikes is that they take 1 heart no matter what mail you're wearing.
Okay, we're gonna have a
Drugs for
refill right
literacy,
now.
so the book was in the magic shop.
Yes, it was.
So, you could loot Moldorm's last possession and then go get the book at the very end.
That is if you want something to read after you were done, you know? Learn new language. The sab0tender doesn't mind taking a shot from the BMOS now, but we'll go to get another heart after losing a heart, and then take more damage from the BMOS. And time for his land moles to fight. I never actually confirmed the final race time for Kyong here, so I'm going to confirm that the SRL time was 1:08:37. That means he did the seed in 53:37.
Oh, I didn't realize the SRL included the 15 minutes.
It does.
Huh.
The race is queued to start, and then the bot that runs the race queues a 15-minute starting time. So the first 15 minutes of the time is always the study period. And then at 15 minutes, the race begins. sab0tender missing one of the Wiz Robes. Going to have to hit that one now. Got him.
And the explosions are sleeping again forever.
Concern in chat that sab0tender may not have enough magic for the torch room. I think he might have just enough if he... Oh, he's going to use the refill just to be safe. He might have had just enough if he used the lamp for most of the shots, but I didn't want to take a chance.
Yeah, so sab0tender is really gonna need to get the torch glitch in here because he does not have half magic.
sab0tender is out of keys.
Oh no.
There's a key door. There's a chest. It does not have a key. He realized he forgot a key and he has forfeit. So he has gone ahead and, for the sake of moving on to the second seed and probably just out of sheer being upset at having forgotten that key, he is going to just clear his mind of this one and move on to the next race and get that second one going very shortly here. So, but again, the main highlight of that race, in my opinion, was Kyong showing off the that glitch that Aussie found with knocking the bow out of Thieves Town, where we knew it was because sab0tender picked up the bow there, as sab0tender now pulls the empty chest repeatedly. It is not budging. So yeah, the highlight was Kyong showing off that glitch. We got to see that glitch as part of his run today, so very nice to see that. And any other things that you thought interesting out of that race, Drosy?
Well, I mean, that was a paradox cave to remember. That would be true even if it hadn't been a spoiler race, but it was a heck of a paradox cave.
It was a very, very good paradox cave. I think I've seen a mini Moldorm cave once that was just as good as that, 4 key items in it, but I think that's only the second or third time about something like that I've seen a cave that good. So that was, as you said, an excellent cave, and boy, that was one for the ages. Maybe a while before we see one like that again.
Yeah, and on the flip side, of course, it meant that Mini Moldorm and Hype were both so much junk that the runners didn't even touch them.
Yeah, I think you just mentioned Hype Cave. Hype Cave was we looked up Hype Cave, realizing it wasn't going to be needed, and it was just junk. Money, heart bombs, and I think an empty bottle was in there as well. So that was not necessary at all.
Yeah. And I also found it interesting that, you know, 2 of the 3 big chests in Pendant Dungeons had required items, though of course Kyong managed to not go to one of them. But, yeah, like, what are the odds that you don't just have to dip to Pendant Dungeons, you have to go to the big chest in both of them?
That is correct. And the other main thing that I found interesting, and I didn't bring this up a moment ago because I was helping make sure the runners get to the second room so they can get the second race started. One of the other things I found interesting was the fact that the lamp was hiding all the way up on Death Mountain, and Kyong took a moment to show that to us to confirm it. Which he must have been listening. He must have heard you calling for that, so he went ahead and did it.
It's entirely possible.
It's very much possible. We may have to get our second crew to ask him if he heard you calling for the lamp earlier. But he did go for that lamp, and he did show us where it was, and showed exactly how the logic expected you to play this. It wanted you to come up to Death Mountain, not doing any dark rooms, and then head all the way back down, go do Misery Mire, go do just do all that stuff after you get back down. So the seed was not friendly in terms of logic today for those who are not comfortable doing dark rooms.
And I would like to call attention to Kyong's collection rate, that typically for a spoiler log race, the collection rate is still going to be in the 60 to 70 range, so 56 is really impressive.
Yes, that is really good.
Probably because he saved himself going into Thieves Town, because that would have been a few checks right there to get the big key, to get to the back and get the bow.
I'm going to make a quick change here to edit the time of the next race so we can actually cut over to the next race shortly here. But just to remind everyone here again, make sure you stay tuned here and make sure you come back for that second race. We are going to start that race study period very, very shortly. And then whenever the runners are ready to start that. And then 15 minutes after that, you're going to see a new race. So hang around. Game number 2 of a sab0tender versus Kyong92 will be coming up shortly. With that said, in regards to this first race, make sure you follow our first race tracker, Hansen, and also my co-commentator, Drosy1. I am Cyclone or Cyclone GU. Any last thoughts from you, Drosy, before we wrap up?
Just thanks again to our runners and everyone, including you, who's made this spoiler tournament possible. That it's really cool to see it getting underway now.
Agree. This is the second race. I think we just had one that started an hour ago, so it'll probably be first on our playlist. But looks like the race already cut over, so we should go ahead and wrap up and get set up for the next race here. So let's just go ahead and wrap up and wish you all a wonderful evening. We do have, as you see on the screen, Espeon and Mind of Me, who the latter was in chat for this entire first race. They're going to be calling the second race here. I'm going to hang around chat as well to chat with you guys. As we watch sab0tender and Kyong92 in the second of 2 races this evening. Stay tuned. That's coming up next right here on the Speed Gaming Family Networks. For Darasi, have a wonderful evening. And for Hansen as well, I should say, have a wonderful evening. And see you soon.